We'll start Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Nami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyatya Deshatarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet. So lead 3:25:25. Satam Prasangan Mama Virya Samvido
Satam Prasangan Mama Virya Samvido
Bhavanti Hritkara Narasa Yanakatha
Bhavanti Ritkarna Rasayana Kata
Tajoshanadashva Apavarga Vartmani
Tajur Sanad Ashva Apavarga Vartmani
Shraddha Ratir Bhaktir Anukramishati.
Shraddha Ratir Bhaktir Anukramishati.
Can someone recite, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Satam Prasangan Mama Virya Samvido
Satam Prasangan Mama Virya Samvido
Bhavanti Ritkarna Rasayana Kada
Bhavanti Hritkarna Rasayana Kata
Tajoshanadashva Apavargavatmani
Tajoshanadashva Apavarga Vartmani
Shraddha Ratir Bhaktir Anukramishyati.
Shraddha Ratir Bhaktir Anukramishati. Can someone recite?
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Mother, please read.
Satam Prasangan Mama Virya Samvido
Satam Prasangan Mama Virya Samvido
Bhavanti Hritikarna Rasayana Kata
Bhavanti Hritkarna Rasayana Kata
Tajoshanadasva Apavargavatmani
Tajoshanadashva Apavarga Vartmani
Shraddha Ratir Bhaktir Anukarmishyati.
Shraddha Ratir Bhaktir Anukramishati. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you.
In the association of pure devotees, the discussion of the pastimes and activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is very pleasing and satisfying to the ear and the heart. By cultivating such knowledge, one gradually becomes advanced on the path of liberation, and thereafter he is freed and his attraction becomes fixed. Then real devotion and devotional service begin. It's a very famous words. This one is which highlights the importance of sadhu sangha. Sadhu. We already studied who is a sadhu in past few sessions, right? Like we started with the attachment to the sadhu. First, we should be attached to the sadhu. But who is sadhu? Sadhu who is very tolerant, who is merciful, titikshava karunika, and who is friendly, surhida, to all living entities. He has no enemies. He is peaceful. He follows scriptures, and he has wonderful qualities. He is a sadhu. And such a sadhu, what he does, he engages in devotional service of Krishna without deviation. It's not like for hobby he does it, bhakti. He does it 100% without any mixture of any karma or jnana. And for the sake of the Lord, he even renounces all the connections, any family connections or any friends within this world which who don't nourish his bhakti. If somebody or something is not favorable to his bhakti, he would reject. Sadhu is like that. So we have to be really careful. There are 5 things we should always keep in mind. That first thing is, what are the things that directly nourish our bhakti? Point number 1. What are the things that directly nourish our bhakti? And what second thing is, what is favorable to our bhakti? And third thing is, what is neutral to our bhakti? And fourth thing is, which doesn't have any impact to our bhakti. And fifth thing is, which is opposing to our bhakti. So we should always see any activity under which category they fall. And we have to make sure that it nourishes our bhakti. Either it should nourish, or it should be favorable, or it should be neutral, but it should not be opposite to it. So sadhu will give up anything which doesn't nourish his bhakti, or which is not favorable to his bhakti, or which is either neutral. Neutral is still okay. Usually sadhu is neutral to his world, to his work, to his society, and everything outside is neutral. And what it does, it constantly engages in chanting and hearing about Krishna. So when they are at the platform always chanting and hearing, they don't feel any material miseries. Means the material miseries won't affect them. In fact, they affect the miseries. And they're always filled with thoughts of the pastimes of Krishna. So they are sadhus. Even if they have any physical problems or any kind of problems, actually they overcome those problems. The problems maybe they appear to external people, but they don't get affected by those problems. So Lord Kapila is saying to Mother Dehuti that you should associate with such sadhus. These are the qualities of sadhus. This is how we identify them, who are free from all attachment, and you must attach to such holy sadhus. That will actually counteract, that will stop our material life. Okay, when you associate, what do you do with the sadhus? So first thing is, we have to divert our attachment from material world to sadhu. That is step number 1. But who is sadhu? Sadhu is who has all these good qualities and who is always engaged in devotional service, who doesn't get affected by any material miseries. It is completely surrendered to Krishna. Okay, and then you have to approach such pure sadhu, and then what you do? You hear from that pure sadhu about what? About the pastimes and activities of Krishna. What happens when you hear pastimes and activities of Krishna from such a pure devotee? Pure devotee means who is in transcendental position. All these qualities which we discussed just now. What happens? So that pure sadhu will create a rasayana, bhakti rasayana. Rasayana is usually something which is pleasing or satisfying, but also it's called medicine, rasayana. Rasayanam. In Ayurveda, it's called medicine, rasayanam. You prepare medicine. So the sadhu will prepare a medicine for you and pour it into your ears, and that enter into your heart. Bhavanti hrit karna rasayana katha. That katha, rasayana in the form of katha, it enters into the devotees who are associating with pure sadhus, and enters into their heart and purifies that heart. It completely cleanses. Then what happens? And then he also instills a bhakti lata. Bhakti lata, in that once the heart is purified, he'll put the bhakti lata beej there, and he also nourishes the bhakti lata beej. In that way, when the bhakti is growing in the heart, then Lord will come and take his residence there. What is bhakti? Bhakti is Samvit and Aladini Shakti. So Krishna is always with his Shakti. He is not situated in Maya Shakti. Maya Shakti is situated in him, but he doesn't situate in Maya Shakti. He always delves with his Antaranga Shakti, which is Sandhini, Samvit and Aladini. Bhakti is Samvit and Aladini Shakti. Okay, Samvit means knowledge of seva, and Aladini means pleasure, giving pleasure to bliss to Krishna. So when that is in the heart, it's a proper place for Krishna to come and take residence there. He comes and takes residence in the heart of such devotees who are hearing from pure sadhus, pure Vaishnavas. And when Krishna is in the heart and he impels the devotee to chant constantly his holy name, his Naam, Roop, Gun, Lila. Like it doesn't stop. He's automatically chanting. It doesn't stop. He's like in usually material persons are under the modes of gunas, sattva, rajo and tamo guna. They're helplessly acting. But when we are under the influence of Lord's Antaranga Shakti, then we also like automatically, helplessly keep on doing service to Krishna automatically. And that will actually open up the path of liberation, becomes all free. That is when the real devotion and devotional service begin. Like Prabhupada says in the last line, then the real devotion and devotional service begin. Till that point, it is not a real devotion and devotional service. Okay? Till what point? Till all the anarthas are gone and Krishna has taken residence in the heart, and our senses and body are automatically engaged, spontaneously engaged in Krishna's service. You don't have to make any extra effort to chant your 16 rounds or to follow 4 regulative principles, or you don't endeavor to get inspired or anything. You automatically get inspired. You automatically spontaneously do seva. You just always chant Krishna's name, and you always contemplate on his rupa, gunas and leelas. So that is when it is called real devotion, parabhakti. So it's the last line. This says Shraddha Raktir Bhaktir Anukramishyati. Anukramishyati means sequence. So what is the first sequence? With Shraddha, you approach sadhu. It's Shraddha with little faith that he will deliver me, some faith. When you approach the sadhu, then he will initiate you, he will give you diksha. So diksha is not a one-time process. The moment you approach a sadhu and he gives the diksha is a dynamic thing. It will go on eternally. It will go on eternally until you reach the spiritual world. The diksha is always there. The thing is, we may or may not follow sometimes. In some lifetimes, we forget. Some lifetimes, again, it will be refreshed. So, diksha means what? Diksha means you, Guru gives mantra, you chant this mantra, you contemplate on the meaning of the mantra, artha chintana, and you nyasa. Nyasa means you place yourself at the lotus feet of your Ishtadev. Guru gives Ishtadev. Nyasa means that. Prapatti, you offer yourself, sitting near the Ishtadev, you offer yourself and your devotional service. Prapatti. Then you have Sharanagati. These are principles, they're all dynamic principles. They are not like one time. You do yajna and homa and diksha is finished. No, it is every moment it is going on. It's a dynamic thing. Then Sharanagati. Then the last one is Atma Samarpana, which is like you realize your spiritual body, spiritual nature, and then you offer in that position. So in Sharanagati also we have Atma Nivedana, but that Atma Nivedana is basically what you have currently in your material condition. Atma Nivedana, you're offering that. But the Atma Nivedana at the fifth stage, which is when you realize your spiritual self and you're offering yourself to Lord in the spiritual world. So that is a samam bonam of the Diksha. Till that point, Diksha goes on. So Guru is eternal, and our relationship with Guru is also eternal. Sometimes because of our own offenses or turning away from Krishna, we apparently lose connection from Guru, but Guru is always waiting for us to again help us again and again and again. We don't know for how many times our spiritual master has helped us in the past, or he started helping us now. Whether it's the beginning, this life is the beginning, or it happened many lives before, we don't know. But in any case, the relationship is eternal with Guru. We in material world, we have so many children, had so many children, so many wives, and so many husbands, so many fathers, mothers, so many different souls have come and gone. But Guru, Sri Guru is only one. He has always been one. And he'll keep coming for you until you attain Atma Samarpana. So that is the final stage where you, in your spiritual position, offer yourself to Lord in spiritual world. Till that point, Guru is there. And even after that, what you do in spiritual world, still Guru is with you. How you serve Krishna, Guru is with you. So Guru is a transparent medium where you serve Krishna. So without that connection, you cannot connect with Krishna. So the connection with Krishna is Guru. So the real devotion begins when we actually take transcendental vibrations, Shabda Brahma, from the pure devotee into our heart and capture it and save it. Save our bhakti from all other bad things. Always nourish it. Nourish it. Yeah? And how do you nourish it? How you do things favorable to your bhakti? In the association of pure devotees. So in the association of pure devotees, Srila Prabhupada has mercifully established the society, International Society for Krishna Consciousness, or can say in Hindi it's called Krishna Bhavana Amrita. It's very sweet in Hindi. So you always stay in association of devotees and you nourish your Bhakti Lata, your creeper, Bhakti creeper. And in that way, you become advanced on the path of liberation. So here it says Shraddha, Ratir, Bhaktir, Anukramishati. Shraddha means our initial faith. Then when you associate with the sadhu with an initial faith, what happens is it becomes condensed and all the anarthas are getting destroyed. How are anarthas getting destroyed? Anarthas are getting destroyed by hearing Krishna Katha. Sadhana is Krishna Katha, Sadhya is Krishna Katha. So then when we get Ruchi and Ashakti in Krishna Katha, what happens is the Rati will develop. So first is Shraddha, then Nishtha, Ruchi, Ashakti. You have till Ashakti, it condensed form of Shraddha. Then Rati comes from Krishna, it descends from Krishna as a spiritual energy directly into the heart, Rati or Bhava. Then Bhakti. So this Bhakti here, it's not Sadhana Bhakti, it is Prema Bhakti. So this is a sequence, Anukramishati, Shraddha, Bhava, Prema Bhakti. So here you have the sequence of how we progress in devotional service. So right now we are in the stage of Shraddha, means we are associating with devotees to increase our faith in Krishna, to understand our real self. We are there. When we are ready, the Rati and Bhakti will descend into our heart and take residence in our heart. So once that comes into our heart, then automatically Radha and Krishna will be doing their pastimes in our heart, in the hearts of pure devotees. That is when the real devotion or devotional service begins. So basically from the stage of Ruchi, the real devotion begins. Because from the stage of Ruchi, you get a glimpse of who you are in spiritual world. Not another nivrutti, not nishtha. Actually, another nivrutti is always there throughout till bhava bhakti, but the intensity is different. Okay? At the Ruchi, a lot of anathas have gone away, and we get a glimpse of who we are. When that Ruchi and Ashakti is there, Ashakti in our Ishtadev is there, and Ruchi in following the Brajvasis is there, then automatically the grace of the Brajvasis, the grace of Krishna will descend into our heart, and we will actually know our Sri Guru's Swarup in spiritual world at that time. Then it culminates in Rati and Bhakti, Prema Bhakti. Rati means Bhava, actually. Bhava and Prema Bhakti. So here Prabhupada is explaining purport that usually general people, they don't have much faith in the personal form and activities of Krishna because they don't associate with devotees. When we associate with devotees, then only we'll get to know that Krishna is a person and he has personal qualities. But general people, when they don't associate with devotees, by default, they get attached to impersonal conception or Mayavadi conceptions. So only by the mercy of devotees, Krishna is revealed. Here, that is one more point. Without the mercy of devotee, Krishna is not revealed. Otherwise, if there is no sadhu sangha, they will fall in trap of Mayavadism or impersonalism, which is like a spiritual suicide. And so non-devotees or ordinary people who don't associate with devotees, even though they read Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, they don't appreciate that Krishna is Supreme Personality of God. He's Satyam Param. He's absolute truth. They don't appreciate. They think that it's some kind of mythology, fictional, manufactured stories, because they don't have association of pure devotees. Association of pure devotees is nothing but association of Krishna. That is nothing but association of Krishna's internal energy. Diving Prakriti Ashritaha. And in Gita, it is mentioned that Krishna is covered by Yogam. That there's a curtain of Yoga Maya, which is an Antaranga Shakti. Only when Yoga Maya lift that curtain, we can understand Krishna. So when we associate with pure sadhus, the curtain of Yoga Maya, the curtain is removed, and then we can see that Krishna is a person, and he has wonderful qualities, and his form is very beautiful, and he does wonderful pastimes. So ordinary people who don't associate with devotees, there's a curtain which they cannot see Krishna. They think it's just effulgence, it's impersonal, and there's nothing nothing special about that. So only when we associate with devotees, we are in touch with his internal potency. And when we're in touch with internal potency, the curtain automatically gets removed. Then we see Krishna's Naam, Rup, Gun, Lila. So here Prabhupada is saying that association with devotee means association with the Lords. So when we associate with devotees, then our nature changes, our svabhava changes, which is we come to our original svabhava, which is like serving Krishna. Jivaro Swarupoye Krishnera Nityadas. Krishnera Tatastha Shakti Vedabhed Prakash. So we are Krishna's eternal servant. Here it did not say that Krishna, we are Jivara Swarupai Krishna. It said that Jivara Swarupai Krishnera Nityadas. We are servant of Krishna. That is there. That we will realize. So we are Tatastha Shakti of Krishna. We are Vedabhed Prakash. We are simultaneously one with Krishna and also different with Krishna. Vivinnamsha. Today, Prabhupada says part and parcel. We are part of Krishna, but why does he use the parcel word parcel? Parcel means something which is separated. So he's saying, basically saying you're one and different. Part and parcel means you're one and different. Okay. So whenever there is a discussion of one and difference, we should always focus on difference. Bheda. Whenever there's abheda and bheda between God, we should always take up bheda. And we should accept the bheda. In that way, we will become servant of Krishna. Abheda, bheda. If we accept only abheda, then we will tend to become mayavadis, impersonalist. So we should always focus on bheda, means differences. In that way, we'll know that we are Krishna and Nityadas. Okay. So Prabhupada has created this society so that we all can gather together and do kirtan. Kirtan are of 5 types. We can do kirtan with devotees. We hear from pure devotees and then do kirtan. Nam kirtan, Rup kirtan, Guna kirtan, Lila kirtan, and a Ras kirtan. So we do these 5 kirtans. So usually Nam kirtan you can do in general, in a big settings. As you know, we'd have sadhu sangha retreat like that. You can do Nam kirtan in good big settings, and you can also do Rup kirtan also in big settings. If for example, if everybody's Ishtadev is Krishna in Vrindavan, then you can do Rup kirtan also in a big settings with a lot of devotees. Then Gun kirtan also. Here where it just becomes narrow, the path becomes narrow. So from Guna and Lila kirtan, you associate with devotees who are of same taste you have, with whom you have same tastes. And then you discuss Guna and Lila kirtan there. It's but that is at the highest stage of devotional service. Right now we are not there. So we do Nama and Rupa and a little bit of Guna kirtan in public. Lila kirtan also it's very generic. We don't go into specifics in general discussion, because that should be done only in very short group, like a very small group. Otherwise, it is general pastimes of Krishna are discussed. But if someone is interested in Sakya Bhav or Vatsalya Bhav or Madhurya Bhav, then they need to associate with a very small group, focusing on those particular emotions. But this is at the very latest stage of devotional service, not too soon. Okay? So in that way, you nourish your bhava. Direct nourishment. Then, so everything you need to do in association of pure devotee, whatever it is, Nam, Rup, Gun, Lila, and Rasa Kirtan. Rasa is like even becomes so condensed. Like you have very, very, very small group when you come to that point, but that is far out for now. So these 5 kinds of kirtan should be done. Satatam kirtayanto mam. So always, and it's not that you do like for short time and you do other things. No, you should do it always, 24/7. The more time you spend, the quicker we achieve our desired result. That is the point here. Yeah. So in this way, we have to do kirtan always. When we should hear from pure devotees, and we should do kirtan of all Nam, Rup, Gun, Lila, and Rasa kirtan. Okay. And the best thing to start is to very systematically read Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam and all the scriptures that follow Srimad Bhagavatam, like Brihad Bhagavatamrita by Sri Sanatana Goswami, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu by Rupa Goswami, and Ujjvala Nilamani by Rupa Goswami, and Laghu Bhagavatamrita, Gopal Champu. So all the Srimad Bhagavatam and all the books that follow Srimad Bhagavatam that are based on the Naam, Rup, Gun, Lila and Rasa of Srimad Bhagavatam. So we read this, we discuss with other devotees, and we nourish our bhava. That is the goal. Nourish our bhava, directly nourishing our bhava, or it should be favorable, neutral. Like if someone is very much attached to Krishna, if he, and it's very high stages, if he reads Matsya Purana, Kurma Purana, or something like that, Gauda Purana, they are neutral to his bhava. They don't really affect or anything. But he doesn't meditate on them. He just reads for purification and appreciation of his own Ishtadev pastimes, different kinds of pastimes. And direct nourishing means you are directly reading or hearing from pure devotees about your particular bhava. Okay, this bhava I like, and this is what I want to hear, and nourish that directly. Okay? So we should be very, very much use our intelligence how to nourish our bhava. So that is process of devotional service called Buddhi Yoga. Prabhupada said Bhakti Yoga is a Buddhi Yoga. You have to use our Buddhi how to nourish our feelings for Krishna. It should not be opposing. It should not be. It should not be neutral. Neutral is a waste of time. It should be favorable, or it should be direct nourishment. You always see for these two things. Okay. So here, Lord Kapila is saying to Mother Devhuti that you should attach to that such sadhus and hear Rasayana Katha from them, so that you can nourish your feelings, and then you do your real devotion. When your feelings are nourished, then your real devotion begins. Okay. So I will pause here. If anybody have any comments or any questions.